Good morning, y'all. OG here at Bulldog BBQ. Today we got beef ribs, the most infamous beef ribs, or also known as brisket on a stick. This will be my first time cooking them, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get the smoker fired up. I'm gonna get some coffee fired up, and yeah, let's get to cooking. All right, so I got my coals fired up. I put in my my oak in there. So now I'm gonna let it get up to around 250, anywhere from 250 to 275. I'm gonna try to keep it at 250. But in the meantime, let's get these beef ribs rolling. All right, guys. So we got here some prime beef ribs. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just try to get some of the silver skin off / fat, so that way the seasoning can stick to the actual beef. The marbling in it is really great, so I'm not worried about cutting off some extra fat. And I'm gonna leave the back membrane there, since it's just a thin piece of membrane to hold these ribs. So yeah. All right, so I try to get most of it off. As you can see, it's just great marbling. I'm gonna leave some fat on. It's not gonna hurt the cook or anything. But I'm gonna just do straight Texas style with salt and pepper. I'm gonna use mustard for the haters out there. And the back part, I'm gonna start off here. The back part, I'm just lightly gonna season, just to have some stuff going on back there. The salt. And then a little bit of pepper. And in the front, there we go. We'll just do the same thing, just salt and pepper. We'll go a little heavy on this side, just to create that great bark. Make sure you rub it down. There we go. Now with the pepper, I'm gonna just hit this side real quick. Bam. Don't be afraid to throw some seasoning on it. It's a decent sized piece of meat, so it can handle some seasoning. Like that part. And bam. Just like that, it's good to go. Now, I'm gonna let it sit here, think of what it did wrong, sweat it out a little bit before we throw it in the smoker. All right, I got the smoker around 250. So now, let's throw these bad boys in there. I guess I'm gonna put the skinnier side of the ribs facing towards the heat box. It's hard to see right now in the middle of the morning. But yeah, they'll be there for possibly like 6 to 8 hours, I think. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna wrap it at 170 internal temp, but then we'll check on it at the 2 or 3 hour mark and start spritzing from there to preserve that bark. So yeah, stay tuned. What's up, guys? It's been 3 hours into this cook. We got the bark going good. We got the beef pulling from the bone on every single one of them. It's got a nice pushback. It's not ready yet, but let's check the temp. Yeah, we got probably a couple more hours. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna spritz every 30 minutes. And with that, it's gonna preserve the bark that you've been working on. So I just use apple cider vinegar and water, equal parts. And then once it hits to like 170, I'm gonna wrap it, and I'm gonna throw some Wagyu beef tallow to finish the cook process. So stay tuned. All right, so our beef ribs are ready to be wrapped. So this is what I use. Wagyu beef tallow you can get on Amazon. And I do this for the briskets, anything beef related. I throw some tallow on there. And I'm gonna just spread it. Just like that. Then just, there we go. There we go. And I'm gonna put the ribs, look at that. Beef's already falling off the bone. So I'm gonna put these down. That way, whenever I put them back in the smoker, it's just gonna take a little hot tub in the tallow. So. Bam, just like that. They're ready to be put on back on the smoker. So I'm gonna do these like I do pork ribs. I'm gonna put meat side down, so that way the meaty part can just kind of swim in that tallow, and then they'll cook like that. And so now we're just gonna pull it off at like 203, 205, and then let it rest. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so it's time to pull these ribs out. You can't see much, but we hit 203 internal temp, so that's when I'm gonna pull them. And so now I put it in the cooler. Oh, and it's nap time. Look at that, you just cover it up so it can sleep pretty good. You let it rest. That's one key thing about barbecue, is the rest period for anything, especially like big meats like brisket or beef ribs or pork butts. It's good to have a minimum of 2 hours rest time, just because A, it cools it down, B, all the juices get sucked in back into the meat. It just makes it more tender, more flavorful. I know it's kind of hard to wait when you've been cooking for 8 hours or so, and the last thing you want to do is wait another hour or two. But guys, it's definitely worth it. So in about 2 hours or so, maybe 3, we'll get it unraveled and start eating it. All right, so the beef ribs have been resting for almost 3 hours, so let's get them out the nap time. All right, here we go. All right, as you can see, they're in the rest process as well. the beef pulling off from the bone. But you know, let's slice into one of them already. Look at that. Oh, drip. And look, it's so, oh my God. Look at this. Look at that. These are briskets on a stick. Look at that. They're just oozing. You know what? I'm gonna just go for it. That's all for today, folks. Tune in for the next one. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help a brother out. And yeah, be in tune for the next recipe.